So this video is about letting go of the past. And these are methods that I've found really effective when it's just like time to just like let go and move on. So the first way I found actually seems really obvious, but not something that people always do. It's just like basically like whatever we focus on expands. So really when we say let go of the past, what we really mean is like not thinking about the past so much. So what I found is in order to let go of the past, to find just some goal, even if it seems like silly and not that big of a goal, but some goal to work towards, like in the future, that requires some mental thought. Because just the act of having that goal and like setting that intention really helps like defer some of the energy that was in the past into the future. I found, for instance, when I left Boston, like there's just a lot of things I didn't like there. And I found that just the act of planning to move tended to like get me to like think a lot of less about what was there because I was just focusing so much energy on moving forward. And that's kind of a big example, but even if something is just like learning a new hobby or doing something different in your routine, just the act of like planning that and putting the intention out there alone will defer some of the energy from the past and will help you move forward. So another way I found that's really effective of letting go of the past is to just conjure like a feeling of a better future. I mentioned in my previous video doing the future self meditation by Joe Dispenza, but even before that, I found like, something like any big life experiences I was trying to move on, like a breakup or like a loss of someone or a situation. It really helped me to just imagine myself in a place in the future that was like better than the one before and just sort of like get excited about that vision. This does take a little bit of mental energy and intention. Sometimes the only way I can really get there is with meditation, like shutting down my senses. But it has been invaluable in times where I've had to let go of the past. So, another way I found really effective to not be stuck in the past and move forward is by changing my relationship to the past. So before I had sort of heard about this concept of just learning from the past and using the lessons to move forward, I was much more stuck in like trauma and negativity and just like feeling bad and feeling like a victim. To me, that just seemed like that's just what you're supposed to do. I didn't really know there was any other way to look at the past. So when I started to read things about like people who were able to move on from trauma, almost all of them said that they viewed the past as like a repository for wisdom. Like they saw it, even like in failure and trauma, they always sort of were able to see it as a lesson in moving forward. And this definitely wasn't easy. Like it took a lot of time, but I definitely found that after adopting that philosophy in my life, it's a lot easier to move on from stuff, like to just sort of like be like, okay, this really sucked, I could feel bad and I might feel bad for a while, but eventually I'm gonna just use this as like feedback, like what could I have done differently. And even if it's just like knowing what kind of people to avoid, like usually like a lot of traumatic events that happen, like there was like a billion red flags that I just didn't see because I had never experienced it before. So even like something like that can be useful, but you don't have to just like keep feeling bad about it and dwelling there and never moving forward. So I hope these methods are effective. They're just like ways that I found super like simple ways that have really helped me to just be able to move forward and let go of the past. So let me know what you think, like if there's any other methods I haven't mentioned, and I'll see you soon.